I don't see it in the hub nowhere.
It won't be in the hub. You can't
Why?
multi-stream in the hub anymore. So it's going to the Facebook page.
I mean, like, why not, like someone to share the link there in the hub? Right? Okay, everyone can hear us right now. Okay. Great. Hello, Steven. Thank you for the introduction. And sorry, guys, whomever is here. We were facing a stressful technical difficulty in the live, and you could hear us in the background. So, I think the sound isn't working. By the way, I just want to make sure that we are heard.
Can we hear it? Can we hear it? Are we here again? Are we here again? Am I back on?
Hello.
Am I
hello.
back on?
Testing.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just want to make sure that we are heard by the collectors. We have time still.
Yes.
Okay,
good.
it sounds
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Thank you,
we
Easy.
are.
Good. Thank
So
you, Easy.
yeah, basically, yeah. So thank you for the introduction, Steven, and it's an honor to be here again and discuss closely with our collectors the long-awaited Ancient Magus Bride. It's one of our unique and I would say really different statue that have a great place in our heart. It's I would say the first statue ever that we do in such a romantic way. It's a bit of a change from our usual direction of the fight scenes, the horror and blood. This is like more of a romantic scene that really portrays in a great way the theme of Ancient Magus Bride. And as we all know, this is a niche license and a niche anime that we have devoted fans in Figurama collectors and around the world that they love this license, and that was one of the main reasons like why we wanted to foresee it, because it wasn't really given its justice in terms of the statues and merchandise. So we have decided to create a statue that will cover all aspects of this anime, so like you will have all in one statue at the end of the day. And here we are with Elias and the Chise statue of Ancient Magus Bride.
What an amazing introduction to
what
an amazing introduction. Beautiful statue, a beautiful statue, beautiful series, beautiful IP, beautiful series, beautiful IP. I couldn't have said it better, essentially. I couldn't have said it better, essentially. So as a fan of the Ancient Magus Bride, this is one of the most amazing statues I've seen out there on the market, and I'm super excited for this piece. Honestly, seeing the a slight issue as well. Just from my side, I think. So yeah, this is an amazing piece. Has the echo gone now? We good? Always echoes. Yeah, as a big fan of the Ancient Magus Bride, I'm super excited for this piece. I've not seen anything else out there that has put these characters together in this way. Normally, it's either one of the two characters. There are a couple that are together, but they just don't get that personality and that love and the relationship in such a manner. So to start with, we are just going to quickly show our amazing promo video that our team have spent a lot of time putting together. It's a beautiful piece, and I think it's a great rendition of the Ancient Magus Bride series. So let's go into that.
Shoot. So as you can see, Steven, all of these details have been included in the statue. It's a great piece with lots of details, actually.
What an amazing piece.
Yeah, it is an amazing piece, actually. And, I was so happy to share with our collectors the prototype images before the release itself. As it looks a way more detailed and true to the anime in the prototype more than the renders itself. No matter how good renders you do, always the reality is something else. The amount of passion that we put in the coloring is just make us very proud to own this piece, actually. The layers of coloring and shades and different coloration, that's what makes our pieces unique in this aspect. And maybe now we can run over the details so the collectors can see closely the detail of this statue.
Yes, so this is a really exciting bit to actually go into all of the details of this amazing statue, and we've got a little slideshow for you. This is of the prototype that we recently revealed the other day, and we're just so happy with this piece. I think you'll all agree with us of how beautiful this has come together. And there's at the end there are some extra special photos for you to see, so I'm excited to show you those as well. So if we look at this first view, the overall view of the statue with the optional Elias's veil, there's so much detail packed into this and so many different Easter eggs. We've got Jade Ariel, we've got Chise's bracelet on the base, if you didn't notice that. There's Ruth, obviously her amazing familiar, the cotton fly, the salamander, and if you look very closely, on top of the crystals, you'll actually see Silky's ribbon. So all of the characters from the show are encapsulated into this single piece. Shanab, is there any details kind of you want to add to this?
Yeah, so as you can see, Steven, it's really the amount of elegance in this piece is like just great. We have decided to make this veil as swappable, so you have the choice whether to show with and without. It's a small touch that will, as you can see, these pictures now are side by side. it does really like a very great change to the whole look of the statue. Chise hair is orangish, his veil is red. So like when you put them like side by side, also they create some nice visual impact here. So it's a great piece, and I believe like this detail it was very successful.
Yeah, it's one of those details as well that, again, I've not seen anywhere, because a lot of the show, he does actually have his veil behind him, and there's only a few scenes that he does actually pull it over. But it's just bringing that additional touch to the statue that a lot of places haven't done before. And it just gives you the option, like, part of me, when I get this statue, part of me wants to show it with the veil on, because I really like the look of that. But then part of me is like, oh, I do like the emotion that you get from Elias's actual face as well. So it's nice to have, but it makes it so much harder to decide which you go for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you have the option, I mean, to display it. As a collectors, we always love to have something different in our collection. After some time, I would like to change the swappers to just feel fresh, to refresh the look of the statue, and I believe the subtle swappers here are pretty much successful.
Yeah, because there's some really nice swappables coming up as well. So if we go to the next slide, we've got, so this is actually with his veil off, and this is one of the other angles from the statue. As you all know, Figurama are very well known for doing, I would say, like a 360 design. So any side you look at the statue from, there's going to be something new to see, something visually interesting. So when you're showing your statues, you don't have to just point them straight forward. You could kind of put them at a 45-degree angle, and they'll still have something really interesting to look at. I think this angle, you get a really good view of the phoenix, and I think the line from the phoenix down the base.
Yeah, and you see all of this is like creating like a spiral around the statue. Like that's what we call the silhouette. Like it have like such a great silhouette and very good treatment between the positive and the negative spaces. You can see these openings in between, and it's creating like such a flow. It's very pleasant to look at. I would say it's not heavy, not like on your face, like just a bulk of resin. There is lots of dynamism here that really plays a great part. Plus the reflections from the crystals or the glow in the dark feature on the
vines.
on the vines. Yeah, there is so much going on, yet it's not busy or over complicated.
Yeah, it's really got that balance well, as you can see again from the back here. Here's a little fun
it's
thing.
Like almost a 360, like you will never get bored looking at it at 360.
Yeah, you could even have it facing this way, and you'd be like, yeah, that's a cool statue, I like that.
And that's something, like we always pride ourselves of doing is to like make our pieces viewable 360, and that's very important actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's such a beautiful statue, and I think because of the view that you can get through it, I'm actually thinking of creating like almost like a half diorama to put it in, of like a little forest, because you can see through it, which is really nice. So now we've got a close-up.
Exactly. It's that's a good point, Steven. We have done it with Maiden Abbeys. It's one of our successful statues that we have launched. We created our own diorama. It was like a green hills with mushrooms, and it looks amazing in it. And we have seen many creative collectors that they have done their own touches to the display of our pieces. So this one I can imagine can be in a nice grail position, that to have all the nice supporting diorama around it to enrich the piece.
Yeah, exactly, to kind of tell that story.
Yeah.
So with the first close-up, we've obviously got the covered portrait, Elias's veil over his face, and you can. One of the things again that I love about Figurama in the statues, and I know I go on about it all the time, it is the details, and it's like the quality of the sculpt in the fabric, how you can see that texture, how you can see like the fabric is draped over his skull, which really help make this more real. It kind of makes it feel more realistic, as opposed to a lot of other statues that we see out there.
Absolutely. Always, it's like about pictures and details, and that's something in Figurama collectors we love to do, to push the limits of our 3D printing techniques and the molding as well, to keep and sustain the details. It's something that we have differentiate ourselves from day one, to have a healthy mix between the stylized anime look and realistic look as well. We do a mix between both to balance it out.
Yeah.
And that's what you can see here.
Yeah, it just gives that slight difference in look to anything else that really elevates it to a much higher level of design. And then we've got the close-up of the skull. So obviously we've got the optional veil on top and obviously behind.
Yeah. And I would like to hear from our collectors, like which phase they would like to display.
Yeah,
on this one.
That's the big question. Which are you going to display first is the question, because obviously we can swap it. But what are you most excited for? And again, the sculpt on the head is incredible. Like it looks like we've basically taken like a little skull and just put it there, and it looks perfect, down to every detail. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to this one, Shanab, before we go to the next.
Portrait. We can go to the next one.
Cool. So here's one of the swappables. As you noticed, in the first image, we had the phoenix on Elias's hand. We've got his phoenix ring. This is one of his swappables, so we can swap that to his staff, which again it's just a really nice addition to the overall piece and to the overall style. I love the phoenix, but personally my Elias has the staff in hand. I don't know how you feel, Shanab.
Actually, I have to disagree with you. I love the phoenix because it adds lots of transparency to the piece. Yes. The fire always, it's a plus point in my opinion. Like fire, water, as like this, the elements, the elemental effects are very cool. However, like this, I would say the romantic choice, which you would go that route.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about this swappable, again, that gives you another unity with the Chise stuff as well. You know, like so, there is nice balance. In the statue.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of mix it up and have everything, have it the way you want. Really, which is amazing. And here we go. Yeah. There's the phoenix. It is beautiful, and like the transparency of it, and obviously in the full view, the tail actually wraps round and goes a lot further down. A beautiful piece. So
absolutely.
Now we've got the different hands for Chise. So she comes with three options. There's the cursed dragon hand, obviously that helped to kind of control her mana, which is amazing. She's got her gloved hand, which she starts using her gloves after she gets the dragon hand mainly, to cover the look of that. I mean, it's quite a contrast between her normal skin tone, so she wants to cover that. And then we do actually have the bracelet hand from, this is kind of more season 1 era. where she just has her bracelet hand.
Yeah. So again, each part here like have its like own backstory, its own value. So we wanted to make sure to like make all these in like one piece to be, you know, like let's say the best collectible piece for Ancient Magus Bride out there. And I believe that this have been done in a great way, and I love the options that it gives me a sense of freedom on how I would like to display it. And whenever we get bored of a certain look, we can do the change.
Yeah, you can swap it up, even if it's just you're swapping a hand from the dragon hand to the bracelet hand. It just gives that slight differentiation.
Yes.
There's one thing I want to bring up on this photo particularly, and it's a really small detail, but I love it. The her necklace, her baleo tie, just like the sparkliness of that, it looks like a mini galaxy, and it's just incredible, and I love it, and I cannot get enough of that.
Absolutely. That's a special effect in the color that we have done, and I believe it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So in the final piece, it will really look even better.
Yeah, exactly. And I can imagine under the glow of the LEDs as well, it's really going to bring out the blue of that, because we've got the blue crystal LEDs as well coming up. We've got a nice close up of Chise looking adorable. Again, a lot of great detail, a lot of amazing work has gone into this.
Fairy next to her shoulder. You know, like what I love about this statue, almost every angle, it's an Instagrammable shot. You know, it's something that you can make a frame that it will fit the composition really in a great way.
Yeah, exactly. And as the marketing manager, here's a little insight for all of you, that on Instagram we can only put 10 photos up in a gallery. And choosing 10 photos to show of this was the hardest thing I've ever done, because we have so many, and I'm like, they're all amazing. Like, what do we not show?
That was challenging to like make such hard choices. Yeah,
exactly. Sleepless nights, I think, was the case with that.
Yeah.
And so this is something that Shanab mentioned on actually earlier with the glow in the dark vines. I believe this is the first time we've ever used glow in the dark as an option.
That's right.
Yeah.
We always wanted to use the glow in the dark paint, but we wanted to give a reason. Like we wanted to have a reason, like why to use it. Otherwise, there is no point to use any effect or element if it's not essential. And we believed that this is the right place to be our first glow in the dark paint in any statue, to be on the vines, because that makes sense. It's very relevant as they glow, and it's adding to the magic. So imagine like displaying the statue with a black light above it, as well as the LED that it's within the crystal themselves. So you will have like this magnificent look of a mix of I would say like so dynamic colors and effect going around here.
Yeah, it really does just bring that extra, like you say, that extra magic to it. It also, I know his vines do glow as well, but it also makes me think of like fireflies in the forests, like that kind of nighttime firefly look as well, which I really love as well. And the way it kind of lights up the salamander as well at the bottom is adorable.
You have a very romantic taste, just the right fit for this slice.
I know, right? This is why we called it Fireside Chat. It's very cozy. Very. So now we've got like a little close up, as we saw earlier with the Jade Ariel, the fae that favors Chise. And there's some, even though she's so small, again, we've still got all of those details in the face and the wings, some really beautiful coloring, and even on her legs as well, that look amazing. And it's just that adding that extra element of the story into it, because the Jade Ariel is there from episode 1, I'd say.
And Art wise, it's like just adding to the whole composition, like it's adding a subtle variation of color. Also in composition wise, it's as if she's helping lifting Chise up
Yeah,
as well, so it's a very interesting use for the fairy jade Ariel in this composition.
yeah, it really
And
is.
I have to give a shout out to Daniel Kamaruddin here. He have done a great job in creating such a romantic piece, actually, with beautiful compositions in concept art. And Ezekiel, our 3D artist, our talented 3D
Yeah,
artist, actually, he did an amazing job is sculpting this piece and going extra above and beyond both of them to make sure that it will be delivered in like such an amazing way. So this is a shout out for our creative team
yeah,
here.
definitely ditto that. They've done such an exceptional
Yeah,
job on creating this.
yeah,
I can't pick even any faults, even if I wanted to really try and dig into it. I just can't see anything that I'd like to change. And it's amazing you mentioned actually about the composition and the colors. And if you look at the right, obviously we've got the entire statue there.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of different colors going on, but there's nothing that clashes.
Exactly.
They go well together. And it's an amazing use of color theory for sure.
That's the key. Yeah.
So at the base, we have the amazing crystal formation, which is obviously it brings back to Chise's magic. So you've got Chise's magic in the middle, and you've got Elias's thorns around the edge. And before this call, Shanab's going to grill me for being so romantic as well again. So before this live, I was thinking about the thorns and how in the beginning of the series you think he's this thorn mage, and you typically associate thorns with danger and like getting hurt, but actually they can also symbolize protection. And I think that's what we've done really well here. Like Elias's thorns are going around Chise's crystals and kind of protecting them from anything outside, which is beautiful. Very romantic.
Absolutely. Well, as usual, Stephen being Stephen. So, but this is definitely very accurate to like what's going on here. All of these emotions and visuals like go side by side for us to enjoy the piece. And we do believe like once this is on our shelf, it's gonna be a not to miss piece visually, and it will really bring the attention for the viewers. Even like they are a non-fan of the anime itself, everyone gonna stop and ask about such a piece.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've even seen people on Facebook saying that they've never watched the Ancient Magus Bride, but they're literally going to go and watch it because of this piece, which is amazing. So we've got a little close up of Chise's staff. The wood texture on this for me is what really brings this out. Yeah,
absolutely. The like wooden paint or the wooden effect paint, it was a great add-on, and definitely in the final piece it will be the same or even better actually.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on, we've got Ruth. So Ruth joins from maybe episode 4 or 5 in the first season, and is Chise's familiar. Obviously, sometimes a dog, sometimes a person, and I think we've done really well showing getting the deep black of Ruth's fur, but then still getting the red of the eyes right to really like pop out from that black.
Yeah, and I believe that you have insisted into making his red eyes more saturated, and that's a good addition actually. They are visible, however, again, they are not overpowering any other elements, so it's a very subtle saturation there.
Yeah, it's just that good balance of they don't look fake, they look like they could be real, but still but then not getting lost. So there's still that element of detail in there. And
this is one of my favorite Easter eggs in
Yes.
this statue, the cotton fly. It's such a beautiful little cute piece. It
Yeah.
reminds me, if you remember in Dorohedoro, we had a gyoza man
Yeah,
that he was sitting there, and honestly, he was the key for me, like to love that piece. The cotton fly is like just an added reason for me to love the piece even more. It's definitely the way that it was sculpted. Ezekiel have done a great job in this sculpt. He's our 3D designer, but also the transparency in the wings really add this value. So, and the beauty, it's like not out there in your face, but once you look at the details, it will pop in your face. It have like this kind of a nice shock to your face, So
yeah,
I definitely love this piece.
yeah. It's like you say, the wings of it are just incredible. Like that little just transparency of them, amazing, very, very amazing.
Yeah.
And now the salamander. So this salamander is lit up by the base. So you can see that the LED light is actually quite strong to be able to light this up. And it's just a nice Easter egg. I think the salamander's adorable. He kind of pops up from time to time, just wanders around. And he's, again, been painted very nicely. He looks really good down in that crystal formation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then this is something actually, so Silky's ribbon. Obviously, Silky is quite a prominent character in the series as well. And it's something that when we released the first images, people were like, where's Silky? Why is Silky not part of this? But we always have the Easter eggs. There's Silky. Yeah. She's there. So there she is.
It's
She's
just a little hint for Silky, and you never know. We might have a sequel in the future.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe a Silky statue coming at some point. But at least she's still part of this one. She's always going to be there, looking with her ribbon.
Yeah.
And a nice, again, like another nice view of the base, because I think there is a lot of detail in the base. So obviously, when Chise does her magic and kind of loses control of her mana, she gets all these crystals. But actually, she's always kind of thinking about like a field of flowers, a field of poppies. And so you can see at these bottom bits, we do have those flowers kind of embedded into the crystals as well.
Absolutely.
So it's not just spiky crystals. There's a lot more to it.
Exactly. And again, that's one of the things that you will only realize once you look closely, and then you will discover new details. In this way, we will make sure not to get ever bored out of displaying Ancient Magus Bride statue on our shelves.
Yeah, exactly. And you can actually, if you look closely as well, you can see the glow in the dark vines are still popping up a little bit as well, which is lovely. So I've got one final photo. This photo is going to be revealed on Instagram later, and on Facebook and the hub. So this is the first view of this photo ever.
And this is one of my favorite photos, to be honest. One of the architecture team, they've done a great job to capture this moment with all the emotions and light balance. Maybe it's the time to show it. Yeah.
Look at that. It's
beautiful.
It just makes me think of again, how am I going to light this statue in my collection as well? And I think this is
beautiful.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
It's like just the endless options how to look at this statue, and that's what I love about Ancient Magus Bride Elite Figumi's statue. The endless options of the angles, also setup wise, with LED, without LED, with the black light to show the glow paint, or without, the setup around it. All of these are us as collectors, we always love to keep these details and to be creative about how to display our collection. And this statue help us a lot to be more creative and to give it its right that will differentiate it from anything else around this piece.
Yes, exactly. It's just incredible. The moonlight and everything, like you say, everything about the statue is amazing. And there's so many options that you can show and do for the statue to make it really how you want it to be. Which
exactly.
is what I love.
And above all, this is part of our Elite Figumi's line. It's like one of our most successful lines that we have done. Dorohedro, that was the first in this line, actually. So definitely this is a very successful line because of the size and the price-wise also. It's a very convenient size that you can go ahead and display in your collection without taking much of a space, yet it have such a dynamic detail, same as the larger scales. Also price wise, this is like more into the affordable line, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. It's not it kind of it's a good entry point for this series that's I think everyone can access. It's not too restrictive in terms of price or size or anything like that.
As you know, like the Dorohedro statue, it was sold out in a matter of a few hours, actually. And because there was like so much demand on the website, we had a crash in the website, so we oversell, and we had to apologize to our collectors and, increase the edition size, maybe 30 or 40 more pieces, something like that. It's really a great line that we are very happy with, and it's the perfect line for such an IP, like such a license, like Ancient Magus Bride.
Exactly. And it's it's the perfect fit for that, for sure. So that is everything we have to show about the Ancient Magus Bride. I've got a couple of questions. So if anyone has any questions at the moment as well, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll do a little bit of a Q&A in a second.
Sure.
Some of the questions we've got already are kind of around the challenges of working on the series, because everything, every statue we do, there are going to be challenges. There's going to be ups and downs of creating everything. So to start with, you did kind of touch on it. I'd love to dig into what it was like designing a statue more around romance rather than battles. Like Figurama mostly have done fighting scenes.
No, like that's a good question. Before we tap into new territories, we always do an extensive research about how we can achieve the outcome of having a statue in a style that isn't like something that we have worked with in the past. But like there's always the first time. So we love challenging projects, and we have done some great challenging projects since the beginning, whether it was Devilman, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, Hellsing, and so on. Actually, like all of these, they were the first of in like terms of license, and the first of in like terms of the aesthetic, the dynamism, the engineering. I would say we are the first ever like to have such a dynamic statues in the market collectible scene. So we thought, like, why not actually to go ahead and challenge ourselves here. And thanks to the great team, we overcome this challenge, and we had such an amazing piece, actually, as what you can see it now.
It's such a beautiful piece. Do you know how long we've been working on this piece for? Because I know a lot of our pieces, it's kind of a couple of years before anyone even sees or knows that we're working on them.
No, definitely. It's a license that have been with us since a while, a couple of years, I would say, and we give it its time to mature up and to reach this results. We don't want to rush it. Again, this is the first time that we do a romantic piece, I would say, and we wanted the final results to really be on the top notch. So we have worked on it for a while, actually, in order to reach this point, and the team, they have done a great job.
Yeah, they've done a really good job, kind of coming up with the concept, even just from the concept all the way through to this, and the sculpting, amazing painting. It's a beautiful piece. Do we have any other questions?
I saw that there's a question about Sarah's Victoria.
Yes.
Actually. And definitely this piece is going to come out soon. And all what I have to say that it's going to be exceeding what we have done in Alucard of Helsing. Because we have learned a lot since 2018. We had matured a lot since then, design-wise, engineering-wise, especially. So this piece is gonna exceed the collector's expectation and gonna be the perfect companion piece. Whether you have Alucard of Helsing or not, it's gonna be a perfect piece to own.
Yeah,
and that's coming very soon.
That's if I'm going to be honest, that's some bold talk, because Alucard is one of the masterpieces, one of the many masterpieces we've created. I know I say that about every single piece we create, but it's like it's won awards. It's done really well. It's I think it's one of the pieces that a lot of people started to know Figurama from.
Absolutely.
And so it's some big shoes to fill.
Our breakthrough in Figurama collectors, it was in Tokyo Ghoul Kaneki versus Yamori.
Really?
Because that's an IP had a very wide reach back then.
Yeah.
Everything before that we have done was Trigun, Thor, Devilman, and Helsing. Yeah. All these are great but niche. Tokyo Ghoul Kaneki versus Yamori, it was the like what brought the glory, and then I would say everything came after, which is Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, and so on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And now we've those are some really good statues, actually, for sure. I didn't know that Tokyo Ghoul was before Hunter x Hunter, actually. So that's an interesting
Yes, it was actually.
Yeah. That's an interesting one to know about, actually. So before we finish off, if there are any other questions, we'll always answer them kind of in the comments as well. So if you're watching this after it's gone live, don't worry, you can still ask questions and we will still come back and answer them. We've just had another question. Can we get a Metal Gear statue, please? Maybe 1/4, 1/6.
That's a nice suggestion. Yeah. We love this license, and you can see, Steven, we had Diacube, right?
Yeah.
So definitely Metal Gear Solid. It's a great license, and we would like to hear, what kind of characters they like, from which series of Metal Gear Solid, all of that. We would love to hear to our collectors' opinions. We hear. There is too much creativity out of our collectors and the fans of specific IPs, and Metal Gear is like one of them. So we are open for a suggestion.
Yeah, we're always open for, even if you just want to DM us on Instagram or anything and say, I think you should do Metal Gear, or specifically this, whether it's Cyborg Ninja or something like we have in our Diacube, or anything else. Just always let us know.
Yeah, we are always making a note, guys. So whatever you suggest, we take note of that.
Yeah,
I see there's another question about the Claymore statue. That's a nice request. It was a great success, which is Claire versus Priscilla, actually.
Yeah.
Or Teresa. So So yeah, why not? We would like to hear from you, like what you would like to see in Claymore. It's definitely a great license. We love it. We have done a great job in the first piece, and you can see now the price in the market tripled the price that we sold it with. So definitely a sequel piece for this IP is an option.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're thinking about. And there's like Shanab said, we always love to hear your thoughts on it, because there is so much we could do from Claymore. And I think every time we think about it, we're like, oh, we could do this and we could do that. And so it's great for us to know what you would like to see, so that we can help bring those ideas to life. Jonas is asking, are we looking at 2025 for the release of this statue?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah. It is 2025. That's correct.
Q3 to Q4 2025 is the release date that we're looking to bring this. Claire versus Ophelia for Claymore is one of the suggestions, and we've got for Metal Gear Solid.
Suggestion.
Metal Gear Solid 1 or Snake Eater.
One, it's like the best games I've ever played, actually, really, like Metal Gear 1. And as you can see in the day cube, we based a scene over the Psycho Mantis fight. That was a fight that really puzzled me back then. It was very unique for a game in PlayStation 1 to have such techniques,
Yeah.
And there was actually a technique, I cannot remember exactly, but if you hook another joystick or you take it off, that will help you in the fight. I really forget the details, but we had to do it. I believe Konami back then, they did a great enemy AI and mechanics. Yes, that was very advanced to its time.
Yeah, Metal Gear games always seem to have been kind of pioneering something new with the technology and with the design that they've been doing. Yeah, so it's Metal Gear 1 would be good. Metal Gear 1 would be an interesting one to think about.
Absolutely.
So to finish off, we just want to remind you that the pre-order is opening in 23 hours. So it's not even 24 hours at this point, it's 23 hours. So tomorrow, April 27th at 11 p.m. JST, you'll be able to start pre-ordering the Ancient Magus Bride statue. There has been, through the entire stream, there's been a discount code, which is AMB35, which will get you $35 off. You can also, if you order through Amazon payment services, you'll be able to get $45 off shipping as well. So put those together, and it's quite nice.
It's a great piece. We have a great demand on this beautiful piece of art, I would say, and we wish our collectors a good luck to pre-order it tomorrow.
Yes, we wish you good luck. And as Shanab mentioned earlier with Doro Hidoro, we had some website issues. We've been doing a lot of work on the website, so it's in a good form that it's not going to go down. So don't worry, you can get there on time, get your order, and then we'll be in a good place, and everyone can then send us our photos of their amazing Ancient Magus Bride and how they're going to show them off, essentially.
I would love to see the creativity around how our collectors will display it in their collection.
Yeah, we recently did I keep talking. We recently did a photo competition, actually, and on our Instagram and our Facebook, and it was amazing to see everyone showing their photos of how they're showing the Figurama collection. So keep it up. If you ever have any photos that you take of your collection that you think are really cool, send them through to us. Like, we'd love to see it. We really love to see it. It helps us think about how we're going to do our collection as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Steven, for hosting this, and we wish our creators best of luck in the pre-order day tomorrow.
Yes. Good luck and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.